My name is Valeria, and I just wanted to share a moment that I am having of not feeling good enough, but also giving myself the grace that I am enough, but still living in that gray area of feeling my emotions despite my mind and my new wirings are trying to tell me comforting things, to give myself that grace that I'm human and I'm not supposed to be perfect. I'm not supposed to appear a certain way or give a certain result in order to be successful or happy or fulfilling in my eyes. That I don't need to do that to myself. But regardless, my body still feels those emotions of not feeling good enough and feeling unproductive, feeling like I'm slow. I've learned a lot about how much I compare myself to people and how much I recognize patterns. So, because I am an observant person, I can pick up and feel patterns pretty easily. And if I am self critical and I see patterns that I don't like about myself, it can be a loop of not feeling good about who I am and what I'm doing in my life. Because the pattern recognition of not seeing me doing day to day things that I see other people doing, if I see a pattern in myself that doesn't look like what other people are doing, I start to internalize that and compare myself by viewing myself as not productive, that I'm not doing enough in my day the way that I see other people dedicate their time and priorities into their day. I just had a moment where I was crying because I needed assistance. I needed help from someone that I trust, and that person is my partner who embraces me and listens to me. And right now, I'm in a point of my life where I'm learning to be okay with myself, but that sometimes I do struggle a lot more trying to figure things out or feel things by myself. And today is just one of those days that I do need help. And that's really hard for me to ask because I want to handle it on my own. I want to not be a burden for others, but I've I've been practicing to fix that. I've been practicing my perspective on asking help of when I need attention, because I do so much, but I need to do that much for myself. I do so much to observe life and people and to help. And then when I stop doing that for others and it's just me, then I'm left feeling like I'm in this really big empty room with just like me in it and my thoughts echoing. And it can get really lonely when I don't have someone that's talking to me the same way that I encourage and motivate others. Not saying that my partner doesn't do that, he does wonderful things for me. It is just a thing that I am noticing about myself is how my needs as an adult are showing up because they weren't met when I was a child. So a lot of the things that I need to take care of this version of Valeria, the adult version, a lot of that is going to be me acting like a kid again. It's going to be me reacting in childlike ways that weren't appropriately taken care of because I was molded and masked to be obedient, well behaved, to not cause a scene. My needs did not get met as a child. In so many other ways, I've been blessed, but clearly, I am displaying other areas that have not been taken proper care of from the people in my life that were raising me. I'm very thankful for everything that I have, but as an adult, I am just acknowledging the gaps that I didn't receive and that I have to double the work. I have to do double the work of identifying and then communicating with the right people to support me with my needs. I consider myself neurodivergent. I require a lot of extra time to make decisions when being asked questions, for preparing things, for plans. I am very delicate to my environment, to the people, to myself, to everything. I'm just very sensitive. Despite me trying to be there for myself, my neurodivergent needs as a child weren't met, and it might seem a bit strange maybe to others to see an adult cope and ask things in a very childlike manner. Like in a daily basis, I see people acting like children all the time with their anger and their tantrums and putting their hands on people. That is all very childlike. But what I'm more so referring to is my childlike needs. The things that bring me comfort, like a stuffed toy, carrying that with me, carrying a fidget toy, wearing headphones, carrying a bunch of snacks and water because I get really moody if I don't have food in my system. And it can make me really dysregulated when having conversations with people. And I don't want to lash out on people. I try to identify my behaviors in advance and work on them. But I can't do that all the time because I'm human. I'm robotic in the sense where I feel like we're all a bunch of programs. We're a bunch of computers with programs installed in our brains. By programs, I mean habits or a lifestyle or mindset, a way of living. I feel robotic, but I'm still incredibly sensitive and I take things personally and I feel insecure. So that's very human of me. Therefore, my needs are more time sensitive. My needs are more, yeah, I guess that's what it is. My needs are more time sensitive. And when I don't receive them, it makes me feel like I'd rather just go through this alone. So now that I'm with people that I trust, I can express those needs, but it is not their responsibility to soothe me. It is not anyone's responsibility to read my mind, but I am becoming more aware and just practicing communicating my needs, creating some sort of systems with people in my life so that they can understand how to help me or what ways don't actually help me that they thought that they thought did help. But maybe for me, I interpret that as too demanding or too overwhelming, which a lot of the times that's what it is, where I need something and people want me to tell them what I want, and then sometimes because I have 1,000 thoughts in my head and words, it's hard for me to articulate it in that high state of being. And it's just hard. So I need a lot of patience. I need a lot of grace. I need a lot of understanding, but just mostly time. Like, company and time go such a long way I don't really need advice unless I'm seeking it. Unless I'm going to a person that I trust, that I've seen them go through the experience, I will then go out of my way to ask. But if I don't ask and I'm in a really emotionally clouded state, advice is just going to irritate me, or questions like, do you want this, or would this make you feel better? How would you? That overwhelms me even more and makes it harder for me to even want to establish my need or even want to continue seeking for help. I hope that made sense. I just wanted to share this moment of vulnerability with you guys because I'm not doing okay. Currently, I'm not feeling the best. I was feeling really incompetent, and that is a huge trigger to my anxiety and my emotions. I don't like feeling incompetent. I don't like feeling like I'm not doing what I'm supposed to be doing. Existing feels like a punishment sometimes when I'm in a really low state. I'm currently going through a lot of emotions right now. Or this week, these past few days, I've been going through a lot of emotions. So I am being mindful of that my body, my hormones, everything is just moving and feeling and just being. So I'm not upset about that. But to just feel and embrace the sadness that I felt was a lot, and I wanted to share that. I wanted to share my vulnerability. I wanted to share what I do, what I feel. If anyone feels the same way that I do, I'm pretty sure someone out there does. I know I'm not the only person that has feelings and thoughts and is neurodivergent. So I like creating a sense of connection to people, and this is my first step of wanting to connect with you guys. As a community, we should create support for one another, not codependence or reliance, but just a system. Honestly, as I talk, I feel better. I thought I was going to start crying the more I talked about it, but I think it just kind of distracted me even because it feels like I'm talking to you guys already. If you want to share anything vulnerable about any of what I just expressed, if you're feeling a similar type of way, you're welcome to share that in the comments. Thank you for being a space for me to exist in. I'll see what I post from now on. Besides the readings, I will continue with the readings, but other content I would like to post more often. This is a start for something new. I'm excited to just be more of myself and to share that with you all. Anyways, thank you so much for watching. Thank you for being a space for me to be vulnerable and myself in. I wish you all a happy day. I wish you all grace moving forward. And I'll see you guys in the next video. I'm crying again. Okay, I'm gonna do what I want. That's what I'm gonna start doing. I'm gonna do what I want. I just got emotional again because I was rewatching the video that I had just recorded, and the video of me crying made me cry. And a new thought occurred where I'm finally seeing myself for who I am and not what I thought I was. Because I've lived in my head so intensely, but also so harshly, to the point where I thought that I had a mask and that I knew what that looked like, that I knew how I appeared to people. I thought I had trained myself so well. As I'm looking at myself in these recordings that I haven't done in such a long time, with talking videos, I'm really starting to pay attention to my expressions, my mannerisms, all that stuff. And I started crying looking back at the previous video that I had just recorded because seeing myself just exists as beautiful. And it's something that I've tried so hard to hide for the sake of fitting in, for the sake of the approval of people. This past year has been a lot of practicing for me to return to being myself. So I find it beautiful when I see people being so full of themselves, but not full of themselves, if that makes sense. I admire people that are so confidently them and that they don't need to contort themselves in a way to fit into any standard or any expectation that anyone may have. I admire that about people. So I just had that little moment with myself of, wow, I'm embracing and accepting this version of Valeria. And I love her because looking back at recordings of myself or pictures or listening to my voice, I would always have this insecure reaction of, ooh, I don't like it, or basically cringing at myself. And that wouldn't be nice. I don't find that to be nice for Valeria, because what did she do to receive that kind of reaction? As I am becoming a new version of myself, as I am giving myself the grace and motivation to alter my outer world, I am taking in what I've been missing right in front of me, which is me. I've been missing me this whole time. I've been missing getting to know me better and embracing those parts more. It was just a beautiful moment that I had for myself, looking at the video of me being emotional and just seeing how I expressed myself. It made me feel like I am finding myself again. And I just wanted to share that because I'm tired of having ideas. I'm tired of talking down, talking myself down, or talking myself out of ideas because of X, Y, and Z, whatever insecure condition programs I still have in my brain. I'm tired of letting those things win over me and seeing people get what they want. And I'm like, when will it be my turn? And I can't wait for that to happen. I have to make that happen for change to happen. So I am the change. This is me challenging myself to step out of my comfort zone of masking and being a certain way to feel appreciated or accepted. I'm learning to unwind that. And this is my first step of posting something vulnerable, posting something that I didn't plan, posting something that I really wasn't expecting to talk about anytime soon, or having these emotions erupt. I just want to do something that I want to do, and whoever is happy to see these parts of me will stick around. I say this in a way for whoever's watching this to practice this as well for yourself. The mindset of, if I am so fully me, who else wants to see that? Who else wants to embrace and create and build with that? And I want to remind you guys that you don't need to fit in to expectations or standards from anybody. That is my reminder to you, but it's just me expressing myself, and I'm expressing myself in a very genuine, vulnerable place. Stay true to yourself. Thank you.